Okay, Stephen. So let's give you a quick analysis of what you got going on here and help you understand some things better and kind of like why you're still doing things visually that are kind of frustrating you. So I think as far as like your backswing, like if I'm just looking here on the right and looking at how well you turn, all of this kind of stuff, you do a really good job of that. But what's missing is you're not shifting at all, right? You have no pressure moving, right? So here's your left foot, here's your right foot, just like if you're kind of laying down looking at your feet, right? Now this big movement right here is when you're shuffling your feet to the start. So this big movement here is you shuffling your feet, doesn't bother me, don't care. But here's where, when you recenter yourself to get started, there's a couple things that jump out at me. First of all is how dark your toe is here. And then secondly, kind of how dark this one is. But I want you to watch the backswing here. This is not moving. You're 51% on your front foot at this point. This little dot is just not moving at all, right? So now you're starting to move into your downswing and you're straight out on the toe and then pushing backwards onto your other foot. So I want you to understand why this is a problem right here in the middle. When you're in this full, beautiful backswing position, when you're in this position that looks like you're just loaded like crazy, you're not doing anything. You're doing forces a disservice, right? So positionally, like how you turn back, you look good. Okay. So from here, we're going to see you start to jump and throw. So let's understand that. Okay, let's break it down for you. Let me turn this other light off so it's not quite so bright in here on these cameras. So if you're trying to create club head speed, you and everybody else, we want club head speed. Find a club. Okay. If I told you, I don't know if this analogy is going to, or if this is going to, explanation is going to work or not, but I'm going to start with it. So from here, if you make a backswing to here, there's only so much power you can create this way, right? So because everything is right in the center, what you're doing to create your power is you're pushing, right? You're doing this. You're using a jumping mechanism to help you create club head speed to the golf ball, okay? So let's talk about what we need to do to create efficient impact and efficient club head speed. So to do this, we have to have a segmental increase in output and speed, okay? So what I mean by that is if I started turning in a circle, my pelvis, my chest, they're going about the same speed. If I hold my arm out, it's going to be going faster because it's further away from me, but I can only pretty much go one speed, right? You know that, right? Okay. So if I need my torso to speed up, if I'm running in a circle, the only thing that's going to make my torso go faster if somebody grabs my pelvis and it stops, and then this can accelerate around it, right? Okay, so what do I have to have? I have to have my pelvis be able to accelerate and decelerate so my torso can accelerate. It then needs to decelerate so my hand can accelerate and decelerate. So then ultimately my club can accelerate into the ball and then decelerate post impact. So to be able to get the pelvis to speed up, we can't just spin it, right? Spinning isn't going to create speed. What is going to create speed is a quick push and a very hard braking system, right? So if I push and hit the brakes with my lower body, my torso can speed up, right? So when you're just basically turning around the middle, right? There's a dot right down there. Your body's just rotating around this dot. Well, I can't create any speed rotating around a dot. So you get back to here, you don't have anywhere to push and slam, right? So what that becomes is a slight shift and a jump backwards to get club head speed. Okay? So how you're loading your trail side is not allowing you to be able to shift and brake. Okay? So visually, this looks great. Forces wise, it's not great. Okay? So we can't fix your impact position if we can't get your trail side loaded. Okay? So how I want to start this is I'd have to see some other movements out of you, and I'm gonna I'll probably have you record some stuff at a future date. But here's what we're gonna do to get started. I want you to I just heard a big bang on my wall. That's why I stopped there. Kind of weird. What I want you to do is I want you to get into a split stance for me. So you can see this stance I'm in. I'm up on this toe. I'm kind of in this ready position to push off. Okay. And then what you're going to do, we'll do this two ways. You're going to put your thumbs on your shoulders, and then you're going to touch your fingers together in the center here. The camera looks all blurry. Somebody bumped my camera a little while ago, so it might be out of whack. I might have to check it. Okay, so we're like this. So why I want this to go on your shoulders like this is a lot of times when I'm having people do backswing stuff, they maybe will crisscross their arms or they'll maybe touch their shoulders. The problem is they'll move one shoulder. They'll just protract or retract a shoulder away. They won't actually turn. So when we have to keep our fingertips together, if I start pulling with one shoulder, I'm going to pull my fingertips apart. So we're keeping them together. So right foot forward, trail leg forward, split stance, pushing into this leg. I don't want you to feel like you're leaning back on this leg. I don't want that foot flat like that. We're up on this leg. Is all you're going to do is this doesn't move at all, and we're just going to rotate this. Just like this. Okay? And you're going to do that both sides. Solid. If you get to here and you feel you're trying to pull away or you feel like you're tilting, right? We should stay right in this good posture. Just go to your end range and try to just make your end range a little farther every day. If your hip starts to move, if you're rotate, anything, the lower body down should feel rock solid. Okay? And this is really important because when we get into hit drills, where we're going to teach you to brake in your front leg and speed up your torso in posture, I need your brain to know how to do this without wobbling all around, okay? So then we're going to go here. Same kind of thing. Right? You don't need the club to do this. You can do it, like I said, this way. So we're going to get into a backswing feel then. So same split stance. You're going to get in your setup here. And now you're going to make a backswing. And if I did this, and now I put my hand out in front of me, you notice where my hands are. They're out in front of my chest. They're not back in here. They're not up in here. So I'm utilizing my turn to put my club into position. I'm not trying to find it where my arms are going. I'm trying to make my arms be a good product of my torso. So here. So you're going to want to get in front of a mirror, and the first few you can watch yourself do this. So you see how that club is right out in front of my chest, right? And then I'm back down, right there. Now I'm going to do it without watching it. Good. Once I can kind of do that and get in that pretty good spot without watching it, we want to add some speed to it. So this is important because this is stuff for your nervous system, your unconscious brain, the part that's making you move. And what I'm telling it to do by doing these exercises is I'm telling it to load your right side and turn into it, right? So right now, you just turn right over the middle. You don't load into this right side. So we're telling your brain we're going to load into this right foot, okay? So from there, you're going to just get set. We're going to step, load into that right foot. Step, load into that right foot. So you should feel like you can put force into that right foot without having to move horizontally, okay? So it's just a step, load into that right foot, okay? Follow through. We're going to put this into a little two-part drill now. We're going to do it this way, okay? So without backswing load, the follow-through stuff will do you no good. So priority is loading in this side. Priority is how do we capture energy into our right side to be able to push into our left, hit the brakes, and speed up. Okay? So the backswing sequence is our first priority. Then I don't think, like I said, I don't think you have too much of a problem with this kind of movement in your backswing. We've got to create some awareness in how we're going to load this leg up. Okay? So the second portion of this looks like this. We're going to load back into this leg. Now, while we're still staying on this leg, you're going to bring this foot forward. Notice how when I step forward, I'm not leaning forward. I'm keeping the pressure on this leg, and I'm stepping forward, okay? Your left foot should not go past your right. So if I've got an alignment stick down like this, when I step forward, I want that step to be a couple inches back, okay? So this foot doesn't come forward. It stays a little bit behind this one. So it looks like this. Back, step, impact, okay? I don't want you thinking about trying to rotate your hips or anything. Is all I want you to do is feel like your chest, let me show you a better way to look at this, or to see this. If I take this PVC pipe here, and I put it up in front, just maybe on the, let's see if I can, I got to figure out where I can put it so I can get to it here. Probably back farther, okay? So if I'm here, and I go back, step, this way. The feel that you're going to have, or what you're going to try to create, is this motion this way, right? So I'm trying to create this. I'm not trying to rotate and open up. So here, here, here. See how solid my left leg is? I'm trying to get my torso, I'm telling my brain that my torso is going to speed up past a braced left side. So what we're telling your nervous system to do is load this side up, move to this side, and then speed the torso up. You get here and you push up. We don't want up. We want torso to speed up over a braced leg, right? So we're trying to improve your torso mechanics over your lower body. And as a result of that, your lower body gets better, because our lower body has to get better to actually then make the torso speed up. So they kind of work hand in hand. We don't speed the lower up to try to speed the upper. We do it in a downward kind of fashion. So by improving torso mechanics, we automatically will improve lower body mechanics. So here we are. We're loading, stepping, rotating, right? The swing feel becomes the same way. Loading, stepping. See how I'm trying to feel like my torso is going to pass my left side? And then up and around. That's not going to happen, what's going to happen in the swing. But for you, that feeling will allow your torso to get down and rotate versus staying in the center and just pushing straight up. Okay? So simple movements, just home stuff. I'll make you another video for some gym stuff. Actually, I'd probably just throw that in right now. I think I have time. Gym stuff. I don't know if there's any way I could record this where you could actually see it. So I want you to take a band. I prefer a band and not a cable machine. I'm going to bring this over to you just to show you, so hang tight. Right, I just use these Amazon bands. They come with a nice handle, right? You can even get like a door attachment for it. And it's not a lot of weight. This is 20 pounds. What I want you to do is I want you to hook that up to a wall about waist high, or at the gym, you can hook it on anything if they got bands at the gym. You're going to get into this. Once again, we're solid into this front leg. We shouldn't be all tilted and crooked. You should feel really solid. And what I want you to do is don't go way back like this. So just go from here. And I want you to I like to hold my hand on my chest, so it's maybe like 45 degrees that way. I'm going to rotate my chest, and then I'm going to pull my arm away. And then I'm going to bring my arm back and my chest back. And I'm going to rotate and pull away. So you're not trying to pin your arm and have this big circle. Your arm's out in front of you, chest, here, arm away. So this is one of those brain exercises that tells us that when we stop our shoulder, our arm leaves our torso. It doesn't try to stay pinned for a long time. So we get here and boom. We let this arm separate from us from this speed. So I like this exercise. Let me get a kettlebell here. We want you to learn some cross patterns. So get into a kind of a kneeling lunge, I think is what they call this. Torso's nice and tall. You shouldn't be arched and forward, so we're nice and tall. I want you to lean into that till you feel a hip flexor stretch, keeping this tall. We're going to take this kettlebell down beside us, and you're just going to go across. Very deliberate. The idea is to keep this as stable as possible and be having this crisscross pattern. And we're going to do that both sides. You don't need more than about 6 reps. And you don't need it more than about 3 sets. Right? So now I'm on this side and I'm here. Really, really solid lower body. Up and across. Up and across. You'll notice how I'm letting my arms go this way and this way. I'm letting them rotate as I move up and around. I'm not lifting this way, obviously. So we're getting some crisscross patterns to get the core to create stability. In our downswing from here, our core needs to be able to do this and move our arms down into position, right? So once again, you're jumping. We're teaching our core to rotate this down, to squish this down. So our pelvis shifts, it slows down quickly. This squishes our shoulders into position. Our shoulders slow down. Our arm is then able to leave our body and go into our forward rotated position, okay? So couple weeks of these exercises this way. You can do these this way, by the way, where you're down here. So if you want to put these together, you're here, rotate, rotate. Really feel like you're isolating this upper half, rotate both legs. Then you can go into these, so you can kind of do both of these together. Right? That's good gym work. The band is good gym work. This is a 4-kilogram kettlebell. It's plenty heavy. You could use just a light dumbbell. You don't even need the weight. I like a little bit of weight. So a couple weeks of those cross patterns, and a couple weeks of what we just did there, you know, where you're feeling here, step, hit. And then you kind of put that in. If you do, it does get warm enough and you get to go hit a few balls. That's that feeling that you're having. I'm loaded, I'm here, and then that's all it is. Here, there, right? We've got to get that pressure shifting. We've got to get away from staying centered and jumping up and back. You're jumping up and back because you're too centered. So that's a huge portion of the problem. So if you have any questions, just let me know, but get started on that stuff. And after a couple weeks of just the movements, give me some feedback. And then when you get out to the range, give me some feedback.